Olá pessoal, eu sou o FalcoN e estamos aqui para mais um vídeo o primeiro vídeo neste caso de NBA Live 18. Vamos jogar The One, The League, The Street, Play Your Career. Começar criar o meu personagem. Bem,
Let's complete your player info.
Nome.
Your background sets the stage for who you are, both on and off the court.
FalcoN. FalcoN. Segundo nome vai ser FPS. Commentary name vai ser. Eu não sei, pessoal. Que nome é que eu vou meter? Vou ver se tem aqui algum nome parecido com FalcoN. Felton, olha. Fisher, Fleming, Floyd, Force. Não sei, pessoal. Freeman. Não sei, pessoal. Acho que vou deixar sem. Portugal, como é óbvio. Pessoal, eu não sei, mas acho que vou fazer começar a fazer vídeos de GTA Online, Forza, isso, Fortnite, se vocês quiserem. Mas tem que comentar para ver se eu faço ou não. Se vocês não comentarem, eu não sei se vocês querem. Escola. Isso foi um tema qualquer. Não sei qual é que é de escolher. Escola. Vou ficar a mesma. Número 7.
Let's start creating your look. If you haven't already done so, download the GameFace HD app. Scan yourself and get your face in the game.
Não sei, acho que vou meter este. Este aqui está bem fixe. Ou este. Vou meter este.
Your hairstyle says a lot about your look. Let's choose yours.
Cabelos. Agora. Mais difícil de escolher. E umas rastas, não? Não, é muito feio. Olha, está fixe. Não. Ficar este.
Beard, scruff, or clean shaven, your path to facial hair greatness starts here. Now it's time to decide what kind of player you want to be. First, let's choose your player type: guard, wing, or big.
Não sei qual é que é de escolher, pessoal.
Now, let's define your style of play. This will determine the impact you have on the court.
Deixa-me saber o que é tem este.
Now, it's time to choose your player's height and weight. Every choice you make here will affect your player's physical capabilities, both good and bad. So choose wisely before you lock in.
É assim. Sim, que era esse, não. Oh. Sim. É isto mesmo. Já está a salvar. Bem, vamos começar a jogar. Acho que fiz neves, só não sei. Sapatilha rosa. É, vamos jogar da liga mesmo.
Every great journey begins with a single step. In the NBA, it's more like a sprint.
É pessoal, eu fiz neve. Vou dar só corte e já vem.
You wanted to be a star.
Pessoal, voltei.
And someday, to rise above
prontos.
and become the greatest to ever play. You dreamed of being the one. But the road to stardom is never easy. There are obstacles, injuries, and disappointments. Adversity is universal. It can happen to anyone at any time. And one day, it happened to you. You went from being a guaranteed lottery pick to a kid who may never even play college ball again.
I'll always get to hear about injuries, especially to college kids, of course. Yeah. But Stephen A. Smith, this is particularly disheartening because we are 2 weeks into the season. And in the country goes down potentially with a season-ending injury, a knee injury. That's a killer.
I couldn't agree more. When I heard he was carried off the floor today, all you can do is find yourself hoping that he'll make it back. That's the bottom line. But my heart goes out to him because I didn't expect this. This is a devastating injury. It's never good to have something like this.
The team doctor broke the news. Torn ACL, sprained MCL, and a torn meniscus. Surgery was scheduled, but your game will likely never be the same. At the 2016 NBA draft, your name is still mentioned. Not as a prospect, but as a cautionary tale.
Now, there's another huge story in this year's draft. A record number of underclassmen, 30 of them, undrafted. And I hope anyway, that this is a lesson. This serves as an example to college players. I'm not talking about the ones who are genuinely one and dones, the guys you know are going to be lottery picks. I mean the rest of them. They're not sure shots. You're not sure they're going to be lottery picks. Don't just use the college system for a year thinking you're going to bounce. It doesn't work like that.
Please.
If you don't have the talent, it doesn't work. You got to be cultivated in the system.
Please. There you go again with your blanket generalizations. You know how you are, oh, Max. The woe is me. Oh, my Lord. I can't take it. I just can't take it. It's a case-by-case basis. You can't just blanketly decide this should not be one and dones or this should be one and dones. You got to go on a case-by-case basis. Some dudes deserve to be done, some people don't. It's on a case-by-case basis.
And that is my point. Thank you for making it for me. Every kid thinks they're the exception to the rule. And members of the media like Stephen A. Smith are encouraging these kids to come out early.
Look, Max, bottom line is this. You got to take this into consideration. You had two dudes. They were called the Height brothers. Now, you had Nick Howard. This kid had a lot of promise. What does he do? He goes to college. Very uneventful first year, no doubt. The second year, he was pretty good. Here's the problem. The NBA, it's not about pretty good. You need to be great on the collegiate level, on the prep level, in summer leagues and what have you, in order for you to get the stature that you deserve. That's the bottom line. It's pretty good ain't good enough to be that stud NBA.
That's exactly my point.
Let me finish. There's another example. I did say the Height brothers. I wasn't talking about one individual. I was talking about two. What happens? One and done in a different way. 1 year, one ACL injury later, and look where he's at now. His future is clearly uncertain. So you got to take advantage of that opportunity because you never know when an injury is going to cost you everything.
Stephen A., listen to yourself. Let's listen to yourself for a second. You give one argument for why a kid should come out early, a one-and-done situation. I can give you 30 arguments this morning alone why they should stay in school. And now you have to wonder what a kid like Nick Howard, who has given up his college eligibility, does next. What does he do next?
First of all, don't sweat the technique. The argument, or one argument, as long as it's strong enough, that's all that matters. That's number one. Number two, the Height brothers was something special. What they really need to do, I'm going to tell you what they need to do, Max. They need to get back to playing together. My sources are telling me the ACL injury has been completely healed. So go on a pro-am circuit. Go in summer leagues. Do what you got to do to get back on the court together to remind everybody of what you once were. Because once you pull that off, the sky's the limit. That's what they need to do. Get back to playing ball together, because when people see what you can do as one, the other arguments don't really matter. Like I said, don't sweat the technique.
Bem, pessoal, já voltei. Vou fazer o meu primeiro jogo. Vou aceitar aqui. O que é que eu meto, pessoal? Primeiro, vou meter caixa. Primeiro, back opening. Back opening. Não, só põemos uma caixa, mais nada. Bom, já não foi mal. Bem, pessoal, vamos começar a jogar. Eu já estive a testar o jogo, mas foi só mesmo para testar, portanto. Eu não sei jogar muito bem. Jogar à noite. Não.
This is New York City, the mecca of basketball. The original Rucker League began here in 1947. 9 years later, the tournament found a permanent home uptown at PS 156 Playground. Those early Rucker days showcased talents like Lou Alcindor, Wilt DeStilt, and Earl DePearl. It's also where Julius Erving became the Doctor. In 1974, the park was respectfully renamed Holcomb Rucker Park in honor of the tournament founder. Now, many have influenced the growth of the Rucker since, but none more heavily than the late great Greg Marius, founder of the EBC. Many would argue that the ruck is the birthplace of true street ball and the crossover dribble. Considering New York City's penchant for flashy guard play, there are few who can challenge that. After the legendary exploits of Rucker alumni like Rod Strickland, Rafer Alston, and Kyrie Irving, it goes without saying that getting crossed up or banged on can happen to anybody at any given moment. It's no wonder that this unassuming uptown playground has become the most widely recognized street ball court in the world. Rucker Park, Harlem.
Subjuguei, pessoal. Come on, stop. Nah. Está 6-2 só, até aos 21 pontos. Nossa, velho. Eita porra! Vento. Vai. E sexta. E sexta. Ganha, vamos a ganhar, pessoal. Ganha estamina. Não. Oh, burro. Oh, não foi, não posso. Não deixa isso. Isso! 18. Não deixa. Sem cesta. Não, não, tira! Tira!
Play of the game.
Bem pessoal, eu acho que é isto o vídeo de hoje. NBA Live Level 2. Vamos só upar aqui assim. Dribbling para dribbling. Ok. Vou ver só as sapatilhas que tenho que ainda não vi. Eu queria ver. Olha, tenho bom estilo. Isso assim. Agora vamos só ver a roupa, que eu não sei quanto tempo aqui está. Sapatilhas, rosinha e tudo. Ah, puxa. Muito pipi. Mas para deixar essas. Ai. Ah, estas também são fixe. Esta daqui. Também. Esta aqui mais ou menos. Esta aqui também mais ou menos. Esta aqui estas são porreiras. Estas aqui. Mais ou menos. Estas aqui parecem aquelas botas de senhora. Mas não são más. São fixe. Vou deixar estas rosinha. Não estava a gostar, vou deixar estas que são. Eu gosto mais destas. Roupa agora. Sou design, eu vou deixar este. Olha, The Rockets. É, vou deixar aqui mesmo. Fechar estes shorts. Meias brancas, claro. Não. Bem, então é isto, pessoal. Vemos no próximo vídeo. E fui!